The critically acclaimed YouTubers, the Dolan twins, announced recently that they're going to be leaving YouTube. And in my opinion, no one should be surprised about this. They have been hinting on them losing and leaving YouTube for a long time. But I want to look back at some of the recent content that they made and to make my point. Were the Dolan twins ever really needed on YouTube? Were they anything special? Well, let's get into today's video. The Dolan twins started their YouTube career back in March of 2014, posting their first video, The Blender Challenge, but they originally had their own career on Vine, the social media sharing platform that was deleted in new way of Musical.ly and TikTok to this day. Their first videos were mostly made up of videos consisting of pranks, challenges, dares, that type of thing that was very usual for the time and the social climate. Back then, they had a lot more momentum, and to this day, their first video gained about 5 million views, and currently their channel has amassed over 1 billion views. The Dolan twins went on to continue to make these type of videos for most of their YouTube career, and to a certain point, after a few years after their teenage years exactly, they became heartthrobs of YouTube, and also they became notable because of a lot of their famous friends. So let's get to the elephant. Their most notable friendship in YouTube history is the Sister Squad, an unofficial group consisting of James Charles, the American beauty influencer, Emma Chamberlain, the American vlogger/YouTuber, and the Dolan twins. Now, this has been a conversation that has been widespread amongst Twitter, YouTube, and Reddit, because a lot of people seem to believe that the Dolan twins, most notably Grayson, received unwanted attention from James Charles. Though I don't want to speak on that because I am planning to talk about that in a much later video. I don't think that's really the case. I think the Sister Squad ended because of James Charles' personal scandal back in 2019 with Tati Westbrook and Jeffree Star. But I was much saying, the Dolan twins are like couch surfers, essentially. They used to hang out with Logan and Jake Paul until they got into a scandal. They used to hang out with James Charles, who was big at the time, until he got in a scandal. But once their friendship with James Charles was over, they became friends with Jeffree Star. I personally never liked the Dolan twins for this. I'm not going to sit up here and lie and say I've never watched some of their videos and that some of their content is not good. But in my opinion, I feel like they're just not good friends. I feel like they'll do anything for clout and attention. And even though they don't have as many scandals as a lot of YouTubers out there, I think that they are not always the sweet, dearest people that we believe them to be. On October 8th, 2019, the Dolan twins uploaded a video called It's Time to Move On, or Moving On. And in my opinion, this video was a mess for a lot of different reasons, and let's just discuss it from ins and out. Well, though I don't blame the Dolan twins for this, a lot of people on Twitter and YouTube seem to think that they were going to be speaking about the James Charles Predator allegations, and a lot of T channels were actually covering it, but that's not what this video was. This video was basically essentially the Dolan twins saying that they wanted to move on, or that they wanted to start a new era, and they wanted to take a break, essentially, which nobody has ever said that the Dolan twins needed to take a break. But I feel like an hour-long YouTube video was a stretch, and they felt the need to include YouTube tyrant Shane Dawson, excuse me. He's so irrelevant at this point. But it's really weird, this whole video. It's really well and beautifully shot from a lot of their other videos before, because they have somebody behind the camera at this point. But this video in particular marks when I just became really uninterested with the Dolan twins. Now, I don't know if a lot of people share my opinions, but the Dolan twins have become uninteresting at a certain extent. Also, I just wanted to mention, they acted like they were this huge part of YouTube in this video. Like, not saying that nobody would care, but like, it was this big deal that they were leaving. Now, don't get me wrong, like I said early in the video, it's not like I've never watched the Dolan twins, but at a certain extent, they have just got really boring. Like, their content, don't get me wrong, is beautifully shot. Like, it's amazing, 4K quality, like, videographers were shaking. But their content has become sort of like David Dobrik vlogs, lesser quality. Like, they were trying to be like Alex, whatever his name was, from TikTok. But they also were like mixing in like that Dolan Twins-esque content. But it was nothing really good. A lot of the videos were girlfriend videos or, videos that the Dolan Twins did. I watched none of them. And then the simple fact is that just the quality over their break significantly went down. Like, I thought they were going to come back and they were going to be stronger than ever, and they were going to go places, but it feels like they've lost their momentum, they've lost their drive, they lost everything that made the Dolan Twins interesting. And this gets me into my next point. Recently, the Dolan Twins have recorded 3 of those we need to sit down and talk type of videos that the YouTuber does to signify something important happening in their channel. They've made 3 of them, and like I just said, a lot of the quality of the content was going down, and it shows that they really had no interest in YouTube, and it was showing. And they kept making these clickbait-esque videos, and like I said, their content just became really clickbaity. Like, they made a video saying answering assumptions about us, but they really answered anything, or they were really vague. And like I said, they just sat down and filmed these serious videos without meaning anything. And that gets me into my next point. I know I'm gonna get hate a lot from a lot of people saying that I'm a hater. I don't hate the Dolan Twins, and I don't hate anybody. Hate is a really strong word. My thing is, does the Dolan Twins really matter? They're just like every other Jake Paul, but mellowed down. They're just like every other YouTuber that eventually has to go. That's what being a YouTuber is about. And I also feel like they just lost any momentum. And it's like, whenever you talk about the Dolan Twins, you have to mention somebody else. They've really only got to where they are based off of other people and other people's success, and most of their big videos are with other YouTube celebrities and stars. My point is, now taking all of this into account, this is all I have to say. The Dolan Twins, leaving YouTube should be something that we're not that upset about and something we're not surprised about. Taking everything I said into account, the Dolan Twins will have no real history. Their videos are nothing special except their videos with the Sister Squad that are truly iconic and comedy gold and just amazing. And it's like amazing, talented, beautiful, great. But I also feel like now that they've lost their momentum, we don't want to force them into making things that they don't want to do. I would love to see where the Dolan Twins can go in other industries. I think they would be great model material too, and they could really do big things. But YouTube is just not their calling. And, at this point, I think that it shows. It's been showing for a while, but now that the content is going downhill, I'm fine with saying the Dolan Twins are no longer a part of current YouTube or current history. And that's it.